Hello, happy fuck it Friday. Cheers. It's, what time is it now? It's coming up to 4 o'clock on a Friday. Why am I doing a Friday one? You may be wondering. Me too, really. Other than the fact I really was gagging for a drink. Started early this morning. I know it's only 4 o'clock now, but my youngest one got me up at 4 o'clock this morning. No, he didn't get me at 4, he got me up at 5. 5 o'clock he woke me up. I can hear him brushing his teeth. He's had toothache. Been a couple of days now he's had toothache. But one of the things about it is we'd always taught him that if you don't brush your teeth, you'll get poor teeth. You'll get toothache and such. So he's got toothache, and if he brushes his teeth, that should cure it. That's his belief. So he was up at 5 o'clock brushing his teeth. Anyway, I got up, gave him some medicine, because he was whimpering as well about it, in pain. Gave him some medicine, and I thought, well, I'm up now, so that if I go to work now, I can get everything done, and I can get home in the afternoon. So here I am, having beer, talking to you. Yeah, got him a dental appointment now. Well, got him yesterday, but it's not till the 24th. Even though we told them that, you know, I won't even go into it. Well, we have big issues in the area now. I don't know if it's because of COVID, I don't know if it's because of Brexit, I don't know if it's just because where we live, but there's a real dearth of dentists. So he hasn't got an appointment till the 24th, even though he's in pain. Should it become an emergency, we can go to Richmond, which I believe is about 70 miles, maybe 50, somewhere between 50 and 70 miles away. I'm not sure which. So we can go there with him if we want. Yeah. Anyway, less of my young child's problems. I'm back on to beer, because it's Friday, the weekend. And this really is very nice. It's the Hey Little Citra. It's a Hey Little Citra, which is the vacant gesture. Instead of using mosaic, using Citra. Everything's ready for tomorrow to do my experiment, which is going to be chucking, instead of doing hop stand and then dry hop, I am doing just a hop stand. Same amount of hops that I would use for the hop stand and the dry hop, I'm just chucking it in the hop stand. Although I might do the hop stand at a lower temperature. I normally do about 75. I think I might do it at 70. I know it's just, most people do it at 80. I like to do it at 75. But on me, usually, just so I know that and recirculate. I always do the recirculation as well with the grandfather. Just so I know it's a constant temperature and it stays at that temperature, and I do it. But I'm going to do this at, might do this at 70. Just to reduce the IBU level, because obviously I'm chucking 100 grams in instead of 25 grams. So it's, everything else is going to be the same. So I'm all set for that, and I'm looking forward to it. That's the experiment. Yeah. Because this is absolutely banging, so I want to know if this is any different without the dry hop. Because I know, as I said before, so much of your taste experience is through your nose, the aroma. And there isn't much of an aroma here. I mean, admittedly, it's quite cold. I have a serving temperature of about 5 degrees. At the minute, my Inkbird is saying 5.3. So, read into that what you will. Right. What shall we talk about? What else have we got? I did check on my mead. Did a mead check. And it wasn't going so well. The mead's been kept. I don't know how long ago it was. I did that. Must be a month and a half, 2 months. Not sure. Where are we now? November. It was probably probably beginning of October, maybe end of September-ish, I think. So we're mid-November now, and it's down to, started at 1.074, we're on to about 1.038, and I used the Fram Garden Kvike, and it's been sat in here to start with, so it was probably late September, end of September maybe or so, and then I moved it into the house in the kitchen, because obviously this was starting to get a little bit colder, and especially I'm using Fram Garden Kvike. It's normally ferments at 32 is what I tend to put it at. So doing it in here is never going to be a fast ferment. It's going to be slow and steady. Doing it in there, a bit warmer. Anyway, I did a check on it about a week ago, just after a week. No, it was after the Saturday video that I'd done. Otherwise, I'd have mentioned it. And I checked. It was probably the Sunday, and it was at 1.038, 040. So I decided to put it in my fermentation chamber and sit at 32 degrees. So I did that for a couple of days. It hadn't changed really. It dropped a tiny bit. So I've chucked in some Hornindal. I think it was yesterday, the day before. So I put some Hornindal in, and at the minute I've got a little bit of a, not krausen so much. Do you know, it looks a bit like this. It's not the around the glass, but just the CO2 around the rim. It's just like a CO2 rim at the minute. So it's bubbling away, but we'll see. Then I checked on the slow gin, and so I thought, here, look at that. That's the slow gin at the minute. See my face through there, and the aroma is very nice. See, you've got the fruitiness. There's a little touch of fruitiness there with the aromatics, a slight aromatic of gin, the gin aromatic sort of thing, but overmasked with the fruit. It's quite syrupy, as you'd expect with the amount of sugar you put in. I can't remember the details of that, but yeah, there's quite a bit of sugar gone in there, which you need, obviously, because the slows are quite tart, to say the least. But wow, yeah. Ooh, Christmas is going to be good. That's a good one. I do like that. I did notice Wednesday, and I did a big walk, and I went past the place where I picked these sloes, and the bushes are still full of sloes. All the leaves have gone, and just the sloes are left. And we finally had a frost, just the one, so they'd be good. I might go back, because I'm looking up here, because I've now got, I could do some whiskey, and I could do some whiskey, slow whiskey. I've had slow whiskey before, I bought slow whiskey before, and I absolutely loved it. So I might do some slow whiskey now, get that on. I mean, it won't be as good, and it won't be ready really for Christmas. It will be, because this is bloody ready. This is warming me through nicely. It's slightly sweet, with a little tart edge, quite sticky, clarty, you know what I mean, it like really fills your mouth up with that feeling. Rich, just look, it's a spirit, but with that syrupy. Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to drinking the rest of that. Right, that's Christmas sorted then. He says, yeah, I know what we're going to be doing. Oh, I'll just have a little taste. I'll just have a little taster. I've got to shut that off now. I had a wee taster the other day, but I thought I'd take a little wee glass off to do this. Because it is. Oh, that is. I had it. Do you know what? When I first did it, I thought it was more like Benylin. If anyone knows what Benylin is, if you're of a certain age, I remember catching my sister one night sneaking downstairs and going into the cupboard. And I thought she was getting biscuits. I was like, oh, wait, I'm going to tell them she's going to get biscuits. She's there with a fucking medicine bottle. She remembers. Naughty little bugger. So yeah, it tasted like a bit like Benylin, but now, oh yeah, a proper taste. That's cracking. That it really is. Oh yeah, it's got a real. There's the sweetness there, but that tartness from the actual sloes. You start to get the fruit flavour through. And the tart and the sweet are so well balanced. It's so nice. That really is. I probably said the recipe in a video previously. I can't remember where I got the recipe from or what the recipe was. The recipe. The fucking head's getting to me already. But if I can, I'll put it below. Because if you're doing slows, this is just for I think about a litre, if that, about 750 ml, a 750 ml bottle. Do you know, just a perfect bottle to do. And me, that's the gas coming from this. God, I'm going to be in bed shortly. What else? I want to talk about CO2. That was what I want to talk about. Now, I don't know how long CO2 lasts for you. I believe it's a 22 litre. Is it a 22 litre, whatever, CO2 bottle? It's the largest one they do. Anyway, let me just get my invoice. Just out my pocket. I just happened to be thinking about the other day. Do I need? Sorry, she knows. I need to get some gas. Do I? It's been a while. I better check the invoice. When was the last time I bought gas? Now, previously, like, not previously on another episode. Previously, in a video I used to do. What am I talking about? Fucking hell. This is fucking good. Right. Brain straight. Get rid of that brain fat. Yes. CO2. Previously, I used to leave the gas on the CO2. And that was it. I'd leave it on, let everything run, and whether I was... I have three secondaries. I used to have two secondaries, and I'd run two secondaries, and one would be maybe pressurizing and getting a beer up to the right carbonation level, and one would just be on serving pressure. So I switch them around, mess about, etc. But I'd leave it on, and I'd get through, I'd probably say 6 months. 6 months for a 22 litre cylinder. And I'd buy another one. And I didn't think anything of it. I had the odd one where I'd have a complete leak arse failure and I'd lose it overnight. That was a real arse that time. But other than that, yeah, I would say 6 months was generally what it would last. And I was happy with that. I thought that was how it was. Then Graham Preston mentioned the fact that he always turns his off. Always has, always will. And I was like, okay. Use it, you turn it on, turn it off. turn it on, turn it off when you're using it, turn it on when you're using it, turn it off. I was like, okay, this seemed a bit extreme to me, but I thought, well, okay, Graham knows what he's talking about. Didn't think anything more of it. Then I saw something else saying that if your primary regulator drops, whereas your secondary regulators are staying fixed, we're talking about the needles, then you've obviously got an issue and there's a leak. Well, that happens all the time. I'm looking at mine now and I can see that it's dropping. That's if you've turned it off. I don't mean just generally. I mean just if you try turning it off, turn off your main CO2 and just watch it. I don't mean sit and watch it, but like go away, do stuff, come back a bit later, come back, etc. And you notice that your primary regulator's dropping, but your secondaries are staying the same, then they're either pressurizing, which yes, that's true if you're filling up with beer like I am now, or if some kegs aren't pressurized, yeah, they're over chilled, but they shouldn't generally. If you've reached serving pressure and everything for your kegs and they're at that temperature constant, then they should be balanced. But if your main regulator's dropping after you've turned it off, then you've probably got a leak. So now I don't leave mine on, and this is the last time. This invoice is the last invoice I have for going to get gas, and I don't know if you can see that properly. Yeah, May, beginning of May 2020, a year and a half I've had that keg, that cylinder, that gas cylinder on. I'm still brewing enough, still brewing the same. I still have enough beers on it. I'm doing more so with the CO2 in that I've been purging kegs. I've been purging kegs for things like when I've done a New England IPA in here, where I've been doing sort of like a controlled fermentation with no oxygen ingress, and I then doing a controlled transfer, and me using the CO2 to transfer into a keg that's been purged with liquid transferred CO2 in to push the liquid out. So I'm doing stuff using the CO2. It's not like I've just been sitting on the CO2, but the switching it off, wow, year and a half. That just shows how much I was wasting. So cheers to Graham for first putting that little thing in my head, that little word of doubt. He always knows what he's doing, doesn't he, Graham? Pretends he doesn't, but he does. That's very nice. That is. That's going to be a messy Friday, I think. Anything else to talk about? Yes, I did mention earlier that I saw some slows when I was out walking. That was on the Wednesday. The Tuesday I did a walk as well, but I'd gone out to take my young son to school and got ready to have a walk. The plan was take him to school, drop him at school, go on my walk. And that was right. I had my earbuds, my phone, ready for my audio book, got the watch with the app, the Strava, so I can record, see how long I'm doing, see how fast I'm doing it, see what my elevation gains, etc., and all that palaver. And I'd forgot to put my walking boots on. I just had trainers on, so I had to go around town on the Tuesday. The Wednesday, sorted it, got the walking boots and went on a big walk. Did 10 miles, and as I say, I went past the bushes where I picked the slow for the slow gin, and yeah, I think I might be going back up there this next week go back up and get some more of those, because I do fancy the idea of doing some slow whiskey. My problem I had though was this. Now, let me just show you if I can. What is going on? 1, 2. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. I feel like an idiot. Strava, and you did you know what? Just take it off. It's probably easier if I do that, then turn it off. Right there, right like that. So I can, using that, move it around, pick whatever I do, and I usually pick the walk. Now, I've had a thought about this, because this app isn't working. This app is shit. The Tuesday it was fine. I walked around the town because I had trainers. So I did about 5 miles, and it recorded everywhere I went and back again. And that's been fine. I've had this issue for a bit, and this is a new updated version of the app as well. And it sometimes it just doesn't record. There's one, I was on for a 20 miler. I was trying to do a 20-mile walk, and it recorded something like a third of a mile. And I was like, no good thing. I wanted the record, not just for bragging rights or anything, but I also wanted to know how far I'd actually walked. I wanted to walk 20 miles, so I knew how my legs felt, etc. I wanted to know the elevation gain, because I was really pushing it, because I knew that I wanted to be able to do the high elevation drop, etc. Anyway, all that bollocks. It recorded 1/4 mile. It's happened a few times with this app, and plenty of people have complained about it, and they've redone it, and it's a new version of the app, but it's still not fucking working. I, however, have had a thought. Now, when I did the recording on the Tuesday, I was just walking around the town, so I had it on walk. When I went on the walk on the Wednesday, I still had it on the walk, but I went out of town, across fields, to another village, to another village, to another village, then back to the town. So we're talking maybe that I should have pressed hike, and maybe there's a GPS issue, there's a change. I don't know the difference between why it says walk or hike as an option. Is it that if you pick a hike because you're leaving a specific town, that changes how it records it and what it uses to record the GPS system or whatever? I don't know, but that's going to be my test next week. I'm going to check that, see if I use hike and then walk about out of town, whether it records it properly. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go and finish this, probably lie down in a small corner and go to sleep now, because it's getting late for me, since I've been up since 5, and especially since having this. So if you got this far, thanks for watching. Have a cracking weekend. Happy fucking Friday, and I'll see you in the next one.